Radiant team pick.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Join Dota League Season 4. We're going to be following Together We Did It as they now face up against Union Gaming in a best of two. Although I'm not sure if I can call them Union Gaming since it doesn't seem to be many Union Gaming players here. I'm Mike Loris. I've got Grandis here as well. And man, it just seems like these teams have just like fewer and fewer players every single time.
Yeah, they do. I'm not even sure if you can call Together We Did It, Together We Did It. Taku and Noobs R Us are the only ones on the official roster that are actually showing up. So it's kind of TWDI versus kind of UG.
So I think we were just actually talking about this before with the admin that Jericho was on UG, right? And he was like, no, I left so he could play for a different team or whatever. He didn't end up playing, but now here he is on Union Gaming, so I have no idea what's happening.
So maybe the only official player here for Union Gaming is Benyaz.
At least he's drafting, right? So it's like he's calling the shots.
I mean, Icon's drafting for Together We Did It, and he's not on their official roster anywhere, I want to say, unless it's not Icon, or he's gone for a name change, something like that. Either way, we have a draft now, and it's going to start out with a Vengeful Spirit for Together We Did It, and then followed up with a Scarth Mage Leech Commander from Union Gaming. Honestly, Venge is one of the better heroes up against this combo, being able to swap the person who's getting dueled as well as Mystic Flare out of that. It might cost Vengeful Spirit her life, but more often than not will save the Leech Commander from getting damage.
This is pretty much the equivalent of picking a Bat Rider after the enemy team already has a Vengeful Spirit. Vengeful Spirit is one of the best counters to a Legion Commander duel, as maybe right up there with a Glimpse from a Disruptor, but either way, I mean, Legion Commander, though she does have the backup of Skywrath Mage, even if you're like swapped out, or if your target is swapped out, then your Mystic Flare is going to miss. So it's not even like it's guaranteed kills anymore as long as the swap comes in. It is possible to just get the kills anyway if you're far enough ahead, but I think the weirdest thing for me is how different we see Together We Did It opening their drafts. Like, they've opened up different every single time. And last series, they didn't touch the Vengeful Spirit. They didn't touch the Tidehunter. Now first picking them is just really weird.
Yeah, it really is. Maybe this new player is changing how they're approaching this draft, but I like their opener. Together We Did It, even though it's not like what we've seen previously. What we've seen previously hasn't worked out for them, so hopefully this is going to be a different game for them, and I like what they're bringing to the table. Unique Gaming, it's really risky to go for this opener, especially after seeing the Venge already picked up. Leech Commander as a hero is pretty mediocre unless you get those damage stacks, and getting those damage stacks might be pretty hard for them. Like, Tidehunter, not a very easy hero to duel, and even if you do duel somebody, you have the Vengeful Spirit behind it. I quite like Together We Did It's opening to this draft. They're going to ban out the Faceless Void, interestingly enough. It does combo really well with the Skywrath Mage, but doesn't synergize at all with Leech Commander.
Yeah, so Faceless Void, I guess, just taking out the potential threats of combinations, because Union Gaming with the Skywrath Mage opening can put themselves with a couple of combinations, and man, the chat is just like panicking about my overlay. I don't know what happened, but Union Gaming seems to be
okay, so
upwards.
I think what they're talking about the overlay is that the bottom name, Union Gaming, isn't justified, but if you look at it, the logo is. That's a Dota issue and not an overlay issue.
Yeah, guys, our overlays are perfect. It's Union Gaming's fault.
It's not actually Union Gaming's fault. Yeah,
it was
actually
fine before for the other games too, so.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just a little bit like off kilter. I'm not sure exactly why, but it is.
We did it intentionally to mess with you guys, just to like, tick off some of those people who are really OCD about these things.
We actually just moved the box.
Yep. That's what we do. We're evil like that.
You know what would be awful if you actually like moved one of the middle boxes off center? Like, that would bug me. Like,
that would be great. Or if I just, how it says like Radiant Team, Dire Team, if I just like aligned one of them to the right side of the box instead of the left. Just to piss people off,
Yeah.
Just because, but yeah, okay, anyway, we still have a draft going on here.
Yeah.
We're going to see a lot of the hard carries being taken out, so it looks like both teams want to play more on the aggressive side. So far, there's no huge indication that Union Gaming were going to go for a Naga Siren, but honestly, let's be truthful here. No one likes seeing Naga Siren games, so I appreciate that from Together We Did It, though I think they probably could have been better off banning out heroes that were more possible to be picked up by Union Gaming. It is going to be a Terrorblade now being banned out by UG. Again, there's not that much of a need to ban out Terrorblade. It's just a strong hero overall. But even if he did get through, they already have Skywrath Mage, who's one of the best heroes versus TB.
Yeah, I definitely think that support should be seeing a little bit more hate inside this ban stage. Right now, every single support has been completely left through. Vengeful Spirit was the first pick from Together We Did It, and outside of that, and the Jakiro maybe played as a support. Everything's available, and Together We Did It. If they want to go for it, Ogre is there, and would be a pretty nice pick for themselves, as well as denying that away from Union Gaming.
So it is going to be actually the Elder Titan, which has gotten quite a bit of extra popularity nowadays, and he's going to help amplify the damage by quite a bit. Together We Did It. They're kind of sneaking in there with a minus armor sub-theme, as they have 3 heroes that all do that same thing, and Union Gaming, they are going to be pretty vulnerable to that. Now picking up a Slark, he'll be able to maybe duck into the Shadow Dance, but Together We Did even have some pretty okay answers to deal with the Slark, even though he may be invisible. With the Ravage, and of course with the Spirit Elder Titan, maybe if you're really lucky you land an Earth Splitter, but that's just extremely unlikely. But either way, Union Gaming, they're going to take one of the more powerful supports in the game, if not the most powerful support in the game right now. Ogre Magi got left through, and for Union Gaming, the Bloodlust is going to be huge on Legion and Slark.
Yeah, it really is. 2 of the best heroes to abuse that, and honestly, I'm surprised that TWDI didn't go for it. I think it would have fit decently well with the Vengeful Spirit. No carry really says no to having more damage and attack speed. That's just not a thing, unless you're maybe running like a core Skyrath Mage, but even then, like, movement speed's not bad either. Either way, Elder Titan has already been picked up by Together We Did It, and it's looking like that's going to be their secondary support. Combos well with the Vengeful Spirit and does give you a large amount of minus armor to work with between the Wave of Terror as well as the Natural Order. And they also have the Gush from Tidehunter. We might be seeing Together We Did It go for like an all-in minus armor strat, maybe go for something along the lines of a Slardar, although I personally wouldn't like it. It is available for them if they want to go for that direction.
Yeah, Slardar or TA are usually the ones to finish off this type of draft. Razor, unfortunately, is banned by Union Gaming, so that's not really an option for the Eye of the Storm minus armor. They could just go for, random support hero, and then, well, you could go for Necrophos also. I was going to say, go for random support hero and get a medallion on that hero. Someone like a Visage is pretty common as well, but Together We Did It, though they do have a lot of minus armor, they don't actually have to fully commit, and it looks like that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to pick up a Necrophos who doesn't give a damn about what your armor is, so I guess it's kind of a non-bow, but, it's still fine for right now, because Necrophos still combos up very well with the Natural Order. Scythe becomes lethal much sooner, and, man, things are going to be dropping left and right. It is also very good against Slark.
Yeah. If Natural Order is up to max level and nobody buys anything like a pipe on the enemy team, that Scythe is going to be effectively pure damage, which is pretty stupid.
Man, that is just so much damage. And, well, for Union Gaming, they just have to make sure to avoid that. Like, there's really not much play around except for having a mech on your team. Maybe Legion Commander's heal is going to put you over the edge, but that is just so extremely doubtful. Viper is going to be the ban by Union Gaming, rather, and Together We Did It. Could have used someone just to hold down the lanes a little bit more. Necrophos not exactly the strongest laner. Tidehunter is pretty good, but Elder Titan, his weakness is that he has bad laning stages. So Together We Did It need a little bit more laning presence right now. I think they're pretty much off the minus armor train at this point with the Necrophos pick. If they do back up into it, then I think the Necrophos pick is just a mistake.
Fair enough. Right now, Elder Titan, with his aura... Okay, I forgot exactly what I was going to say with that. Never mind. I suppose I'll talk about Legion Commander. That duel is going to be really risky to get off against TWDI, and Union Gaming are the ones to go for the Templar Assassin, in fact. Looks like we're going to be seeing an offlane Legion, or at least that would be my guess. But either way, Reaper Scythe, if Legion Commander drops low during the duel, it could just be free damage for the Necrophos. And even though he's not the greatest of right-clicking heroes, if you get a stack or two, that can change.
Yeah, so this is definitely not the pick that I expected from Union Gaming. I expected it more to come out from Together We Did It. For Union Gaming, I thought a Troll would have been just a lot better, getting that additional attack speed for the Slark and Legion Commander. Battle Trance during a duel is just disgusting. That being said, Templar Assassin during a duel is not too terrible either. But Together We Did It actually don't have that many tools at getting rid of those defensive refraction charges. And they don't have many ways of being aggressive towards her in general. So I could see this pick working out for Union Gaming, assuming their lanes are going to work out. As you said, offlane Legion Commander seems likely. It could just be dual lanes, or they could just full-on aggressive tri-lane and leave Slark towards the bottom, which won't be terrible either. they have a good amount of flexibility, and I don't think any of those laning choices are that much worse than the others.
Fair enough. It's going to be a last pick Ember Spirit for TWDI. As far as heroes that don't contribute minus armor themselves that benefit very heavily from it, Ember Spirit's pretty close to the top of the list. Just a lot of physical damage that can come out from him. Once you do get that maxed out Sleight of Fist and some items to back it up. Earlier on, he's also going to benefit from the amplified magic damage. And TWDI, they have some decent tools at their disposal. This is going to rely very heavily on heroes getting their levels and Blink Daggers up for either side. Leech Commander and Tidehunter are the ones to presumably be carrying that item, and Slark and Templar Assassin to a lesser extent.
So Union Gaming, their supports are pretty heavy in the early game, and come late game, Slark, Legion, and Templar Assassin are some pretty darn heavy hitters. So it's up to Together We Did It to land their skills appropriately, make sure that they don't waste too many scythes, make sure they don't waste too many ravages, and if that all goes well, then they should be able to get into Union Gaming's base at least before Union Gaming are just 6 slotted juggernauts. It's going to be really difficult for Together We Did It, quite honestly. I think just the overall power levels of Union Gaming's heroes just so extraordinarily high, and if they get 1 or 2 stacks of damage on this Legion Commander, then things could get very out of control for 2D.
Definitely. We're going to start off the game with a customary pause. So I suppose I'll go ahead and introduce the dire sides, since they're the ones with all of their players inside the lobby, or inside the game now, I should say. Now is the time to fly, or I will fly. Now is the time I will fly. We're just going to call him Necrophos. That's what he's going to be playing on. Snoopy is going to be playing in the other Titan, Taku on the Tidehunter, Noobs are us on the Ember Spirit, and Icon on the Venge.
And on the Union Gaming side, we got Benyaz, who's going to be playing the Slark. Melody is going to be on the Legion Commander with Gabby, I Love You, on the Templar Assassin. Jericho is going to be on the Ogre Magi, and that leaves Baka on the Skyrath Mage. I'm pretty sure I've seen Melody somewhere, and I'm pretty sure I've seen Gabby Love You at the end of someone else's name. Like, I don't know if I'm just being crazy like that, but I'm pretty sure it was like clan tag or like team tag, their name, and then Gabby Love You.
Let me see. His profile is private. Can I still see their names? This isn't helpful. Okay, so the names he's played as are Valve Sucks, Leo Style, We Fuck, Mid Please, Uninstall This Game, 4K Players, Valve Sucks, with the spaces in it. Like, boys, oh my goodness, GG.
So what you're saying is he was muted.
He was muted.
Well, guys, Gabby Love You is clearly a BM player. That is confirmed. The science. We're pretty much CSI over here. That's pretty much just us.
Pretty much.
Yeah, well, for UG, yeah, they're running with quite a few stand-ins. I suppose you could say Jericho is still technically UG. I mean, he's UG enough. So it's like 1.5 UG players, and then, I don't know, 2D. They've been running with Taku, Icon, Noobs or Us. This time with Snoopy, and Now Is the Time I Will Fly, who I also don't know who these guys are. So this should be very interesting. It is also worth noting that 2D just came off of a 0-2 versus the House is Down, and the second game was 14 minutes long, and it was pretty much just a full-on stomp fest. So maybe 2D not feeling that great in going to the series.
Well, Taku is asking if they're good to go. We still don't have yellow.
4v5?
4v5? Go.
It's not that bad. It's only a Skyrath Mage.
Yeah, who
He's
needs
only
that
level
hero?
1 anyway. It's not like you're losing much.
Absolutely.
That's logic for you right there.
Yeah. I think it's fair to ask for a second when you don't have all 5 of your people.
Yeah, but at the same time, just like, where did he go? Like, I want to believe that teams... I don't know, because I've never actually been, huge in the 5-on-5 captains mode kind of thing. I'm pretty sure it's better if you have everyone sitting there and, like, seeing what they're going to play and trying to put in input. I don't know. That's just me.
I suppose so. Maybe it's like a trust fall thing. He's going to be like, I'm going to go AFK. I'm going to go get a snack while you draft. And I trust that you're going to, like, give us this awesome team.
I mean, that's what I do, but that's because I'm not playing with the real team. I'm just pubbing. It's just like...
Yeah, of course.
I'm just like, hey, guys, I don't actually like to play heroes that are red-colored, so if you could just not pick that for me, that would be great. And then I just go AFK.
Well, I mean...
And usually it doesn't work, but whatever.
How many red heroes are there, actually? I mean, you have, like, Axe. Ember Spirit, I suppose, counts.
I mean, you
It
know,
would be pretty
I'm just
easy
gonna
to.
set like arbitrary restrictions like that. Just be like, I only play bipedal heroes, just to see what
No
they
four
do.
legs, please. They're gonna pick you like Brood Mother.
Or Morphling. It's like,
Oh, of
no,
course.
you're gonna have to choose between those two. I can't do it. It's impossible.
Either way, we're into this game now as Yellow has graced us with his presence, and we'll be able to see how these lanes shape up. They should be pretty standard. Right now, it looks like Elder Titan and Tidehunter are going to be making a dual lane in bottom. As far as dual lanes are concerned, this one's pretty much a do nothing but soak experience lane, so that's probably how it's going to stay.
There is a chance that they just go super aggressive and try to bum rush the Skyrath mage. Having 0 armor already, he's a very, very fragile hero. If they gush him and lay a couple hits into him, there is a small chance. It is near impossible, but there is a chance that they actually get something going, especially with boots first on the Tidehunter as well. Jericho's going to start things off by spotting out Taku's going to actually throw an Ignite. This is a lot of damage going towards Taku. He is going to be just fine, as they don't have enough crowd control to actually kill him off. But still, that's just an Ignite and a couple right clicks, and all of a sudden, Tidehunter's down at half HP.
Yeah, it's not a great situation to be in. Tidehunter, he starts out with the boots first, and he's going to be able to make his way all the way back to base. So he actually doesn't eat through any of his regen because of it. So it's not the end of the world, but it's not a great sign of things to come. The spam is going to be very annoying coming out from all of these heroes. Just the Ogre Magi and the Skyrath Mage, even though it is up against a dual lane, they should be more than capable of zoning out these heroes.
It looks like Tidehunter had another chance to reconsider his lane choice, but he is instead going to commit to that full-on dual lane. Elder Titan won't be able to do that much here, so it is just going to be Union Gaming supports running this lane. In the meantime, it is going to be Icon. He grabbed a double damage rune, threw a magic missile, and put a decent amount of damage onto the Legion Commander. This is actually going to hurt Melody a lot more than it's going to hurt the Tidehunter overall, just because, well, Legion Commander doesn't have the luxury of going back to the base. We'll start chewing through that regen, though she does have a crap ton of it. Top lane, Necrophos is going to be just fine. Legion Commander off lane is, first of all, not the strongest hero in that role. Second of all, you don't really need that much to beat her just with the Necrophos. If you add a Vengeful Spear on top of that, the lane is just out of reach.
Yeah, it really is. Legion Commander does have a lot of sustain going into this lane, expecting the Necrophos. But yeah, there's not much that Legion is going to be able to do. Necrophos starts out with 2 rings of protection, actually. Up against the Legion Commander, a suspected Legion Commander offlane, this wouldn't be the loadout that I'd personally go for. I don't think Legion's going to be trading hits with you all that often. In mid, they're going to throw a couple of spells in the Ember's Spirit, but don't actually accomplish very much of anything, except for a little bit of harass.
Yeah, and he's going to shrug that one off pretty decently. Over towards bottom, Baka is getting said beatdown. I mentioned it before, and Snoopy got so much damage. Plus 29 from level 1 is pretty absurd. That's adding 50% damage to himself. Whole bunch of heroes dropping very, very low. But it looks like everyone's going to be just fine. Here comes Jericho off from the side. He's going to get his clarity canceled, and, well, 2D, they're going to be zoned out for now. You know, these two heroes on the bottom lane, you don't really expect them to do much, but if they could draw any sort of regen out, if they could mess with the Slark's last hitting, then that's pretty much the best case scenario for these two heroes, just because they can't do anything else in addition to that.
More or less. This is probably going to benefit the Elder Titan more than it benefits the Tidehunter, and as long as their Ancients don't get blocked, Tide is going to have that to fall back on later on in the game. So I don't think this is really going to hurt them that much. They don't need anything more to zone out Melody up top, although Legion is going to be messing up the poll at least a little bit for Icon as he goes for the 2-minute rune instead of securing it.
So somehow the Necrophos got down to half HP. Melody has not been using the overwhelming odds to last hit with the Necrophos in mind, but still Legion Commander is up to level 3, and that's a lot more than 2D can say about their offlane heroes. Level 2 on the Titan, level 1 on the Tidehunter. Legion Commander really doesn't need that much to get going, assuming she gets some dual damage set up, but level 6 is really going to be the telling point of this game. If Legion Commander grabs level 6, moves towards the mid lane, gets a kill, then that's just going to set the pace for the rest of it. But if she moves to any other lane with level 6 up and doesn't get anything done, then she's just going to be a dead hero because she can't do anything.
Oh
Over
dear.
towards mid. Gabby.
Yeah, they found Gabby with the magic missile. They don't have any follow-up for it, however. No mana on the Ember Spirit for Flame Guard or for the chains, so Invis Rune on Snoopy, hoping to set something up, ends up not doing anything.
In the meantime, Taku is going to find himself Jericho. This time there is a Fire Blast. The Anchor Smash is going to help, but it's not going to help enough. First Blood is drawn by the Ogre Magi. It's Boots first build versus the level 1 Tidehunter, so I mean, Taku was kind of expected to die, I think, but it's just a matter of when.
Yeah, more or less. hopefully for, or ideally for 2D, it would have been them getting first blood before one of these offlaners died, but now Taku immediately pounced up as he goes back to the lane. This time, no support is close. Baka does have a concussive shot, is going to throw that into Taku with the Orb of Venom Slow coming out from Benyaz, and a Fire Blast will obliterate him.
And over towards mid, Gabby is going to be aggressed upon by Noobs R Us. Flame Guard is up, but that does not protect you against the physical damage of Templar Assassin. I'm just going to say real quickly that Taku has not been having a good day today. Like, he's always been on the receiving end of pretty much everything, and it looks like this game is not going to be an exception to that either. Already 0-2. Like, it started out okay for him. Like, it wasn't the worst, but all of a sudden now, Tidehunter with 2 deaths, and he's got to be just so careful. Slark will eventually get to the point where he'll be able to zone out the Tidehunter just by himself, even through Anchor Smash. That point is pretty much at level 6, which Slark is rapidly approaching.
Yeah, and when he gets level 6, I expect Taku to be like level 3.5, maybe 4 if he's lucky. Yeah, it's not going to be a pretty picture if you're Tidehunter. He does have a couple of Ancient stacks. It looks like it's just a double stack over at his friendly Ancients for now, but he can't farm that up for quite some time.
So overall, the last hit chart is looking to be quite in favor of UG, with the Slark, not surprisingly, going to be on the top. Necrophos not doing too terribly either, but he's also not keeping the Legion Commander back as much as UG are keeping the Tidehunter back. The Elder Titan has, I don't even know where he's gone. He's been pretty much off the edge of the map for the past couple of minutes, and it looks like UG, they're going to look to break this mold up on top. They're going to charge in for now is the time to fly, and now is the time to fly, but it's a little bit too late because now is the time to die. Necrophos down. It's very easily done.
Yeah, and that's going to be your bottle up for Melody as well as level 5 after this creep wave. They're just getting so much. The support rotation is pretty darn good from the Skyth Mage and the Ogre Magi. They are committing a lot of time for it, but yeah, Benyaz doesn't really need any further help with the Tidehunter. Since the supports aren't here, Tide will be able to get his level 4 when Slark has his level 6, but that's not enough to save you. Anchor Smash might keep you a little bit more healthy, but if there's any intervention from the swords, you're probably going to die if you, I don't know, don't hug your tower.
Speaking of dying, mid lane looks like they're setting up for blood. Gabby's going to try to bait in Noobs R Us, and here comes the concussive shot, Arcane Bolt as well. Gabby doesn't have enough damage because of that sleep, but will get woken up immediately. Baka's going to be the one to take the hammer blows of the Elder Time, but here comes Jericho. Only level 1 Fire Blast, doesn't do that much to Snoopy, and Gabby's actually bottling up, wants to re-engage. Meld Strike is there, no refraction not needed. Baka's going to claim a killing spree over towards mid. 2D off to a very bad start in this game, 4-0 in favor of UG. And what's going well for them? Pretty much only the Necrophos.
And even then, the Necrophos died once, and he's not going for anything that's going to immediately impact this game in a positive manner. He has a Null Talisman, Ring of Basilius, some boots. They're okay items to have at this point, but it's not enough to make up for the fact that the other lanes are just going so poorly. Slark is free farming down in bottom, now pouncing on the Tidehunter, forcing him TP out by himself. If Jericho was just a little bit closer, Fire Blast would have ended Tidehunter's life.
And even so, it's just like you used 75 mana to take out 100 gold out of this hero, who quite frankly can't spend that 100 gold just willy-nilly. He needs every single bit of gold that he can get, so that's a pretty nice win for Benyaz, and now he's going to somehow get a read that there are heroes incoming. They were not revealing themselves. Maybe it was actually Heartstopper Aura that could have blown that gank, so Benyaz is going to pounce away, get back to full HP. Now he knows exactly what's going on, but they can fight this if they have more heroes. They don't quite know that there's a Vengeful Spirit here as well. They know that Snoopy and Now is the Time to Fly are here. Jericho is going to very quickly know that there are many heroes here. Benyaz might be able to pick one off in the sidelines. In fact, Legion Commander coming in. This might be the first one. Duel. In fact, there is the duel. Now is the Time to Fly will go down. 1-for-1 so far, benefiting UG. Now onto Icon they go. He's going to try to TP away. Nothing that they have is able to interrupt this, and he will be able to escape. But still, it's going to be Melody making his first rotation level 6. Is going to get that kill. That's exactly what I was talking about before.
An important one at that. That's the Necrophos dying for a second time. He gets a Reaper's Scythe kill on the Ogre beforehand, but still, it's only a net swing of gold in like 93 in the favor of Necrophos in mid. Ember Spirit's just taking a lot of harass coming out from this Templar Assassin. This game, I would have liked to see TA maybe even go for like a max meld build up against the Ember Spirit, but it doesn't matter. Gabby is going to be farming to her heart's content, or his heart's content. Honestly, I have no idea. But we are going to see phase drums coming up very shortly. Whereas Noobs R Us isn't even close. He has his brown boots and a bracer. Bottle is on the courier currently.
Yeah, so this Templar Assassin has gotten enough out of this lane that she will be able to lock down the lane completely moving forward. If the Ember Spirit was able to contest a little bit more, 2 or 3 minutes into the game, then this would be a lot more of a better time for the Ember Spirit, even if he may have died once, which so far has not happened just yet, but, he will be able to do something. But right now, just being so far behind the Templar Assassin, he will continue to get further and further behind unless something changes, unless he gets some support from, one of his friendly heroes. And it looks like that's not going to be the case. In fact, it's going to be the opposite, with Ogre Magi setting up for mid. Gabby going to try to force Noobs or us back, but it's a very delicate game. There are no great angles to initiate here if you're Ogre, even if you are smoked.
Yeah, he's going to go for the full wraparound, but he knows that there's a Remnant here. That expires, however. That might give them an opening. He has 3 Remnants, so pop the Flame Guard immediately. Now Remnants forward. The Meld Strike doesn't do enough damage. Now Gabby needs to get the hell out of dodge. Jericho, now Magic Missile Thunder Tower, is going to be the cost for this gank more than likely. As Ember Spirit comes back in, he'll be able to burn him down with that Flame Guard. Yeah, ganking Ember Spirit is very difficult, but in the meantime, another kill into the Necrophos, and yet another damage stack onto Melody. That's 20 damage at less than 10 minutes in the game. Melody's having a grand time.
Man, and even though 2D actually do get a kill over in the mid lane, it costs them 3 teleportation scrolls, which is probably worth it, but still makes the return very expensive. Whereas for UG, they get the dual kill, and they, I would imagine, don't really spend anything for it. Maybe a TP scroll to get down there, but they make that up in spades. So Melody, as you said, is going to be holding quite a bit of damage in this game, already at plus 20. And it looks like that's probably not going to be stopping anytime soon. Necrophos is the hero that 2D need to get farm. Him and the Ember Spirit, that's pretty much where 2D's hopes rely on. But if this happens on top lane, Taku is just going to get ambushed by 2 supports. This is unavoidable from 2D, and they have to avoid it. So good luck doing that. They might get a return to kill on Jericho. With the chains there, Jericho's going to try to TP out. Too much damage, though. Ogre's going to drop. There is Gabby coming in, and they see the Ember Spirit, who actually doesn't have enough mana. He's going to try to bottle up, but he doesn't have enough to actually jump away to his Spirit, even though it may be up. He's going to be picked off as well. A 2-for-1 in favor of UG. Man, this is just getting out of hand for 2D, and it's already 10 minutes into the game.
Yeah, the offlane Legion Commander is almost at the same items. In fact, pretty much the same items as the safe lane farming Necrophos, because he's died 3 times. The early laning stage worked out, but after that, he hasn't been able to maintain his CS, and he just hasn't found a safe place on this map. Gabby, now with these phase drums, can completely run the map and change the pace of this game. Although Leech Commander is a lot far away from a Blink Dagger, they're going to go aggressively onto this Necrophos. He's just dropping so quickly. Ultimate from Slark. This is going to be at least 1 kill, although a couple of heals are going to make it a lot less desirable to dive that tower, and they will pull out eventually. Benyaz pounce away. He's going to be just fine.
Scythe wouldn't even have killed him even if it was thrown. Melody, unfortunately, is not quite yet at that Blink Dagger. In fact, there is nothing close to a Blink Dagger. She's very far away, in fact. Pot Magic Wand, I believe. Now the time to fly is going to be jumped. Scythe Benyaz, in anticipation of that jump in, is going to get that kill. Now into Melody they go. TP is going to be canceled by Chains. Melody not waiting enough. Now is going to try to run away. Centaur Deny is probably the best he could hope for, but he will go down as well. 2D once again bring in the cavalry big, and this time it really pays off. Now is time we'll get that Slark kill, which is going to be with the Scythe as well. So it is going to be Slark down for 50 seconds more, and that's a pretty nice exchange for 2D. A nice turnaround.
Yeah. All said and done, about a 2,000 gold and experience swing, according to that fight recap, and it's just looking really good. That one pickoff is just so impactful, especially in the experience graph. Once it fully updates, it's pretty much just a downward slope in their favor. They do lose a tier 2 tower, or a tier 1 tower in mid, to the Templar Assassin in the meantime, but that's very unfortunate for UG, and they're going to lose a tier 1 tower as well down in bottom, or at the very least it'll be denied.
Here comes Gabby. He caught through with the Psionic Trap. Now he's going to quickly close the distance. Concussive Shot also going to connect onto 2. Snoopy turns around for an Earth Splitter, but that's going to do pretty much nothing. It'll actually hit onto Baka, which might end up killing him. Yes, it will with the Ravage. That's going to be 1 kill, but Gabby's going to claim a double in the backline as he takes out 2 of the supports. Now it's going to be him trying to rejoin the fight as Jericho trying to run away from 3 very angry core heroes from 2D, but Benyaz and Gabby coming from behind. They're going to decide to split their focus, and it's going to be Taku to inevitably go down. It's kind of unfortunate since the Tidehunter was getting quite a bit of gold. Now he's going to be that much further away from his blink. It's once again going to be UG taking a beneficial trade. Jericho also gets to survive, and that was a Ravage fight from 2D.
Yeah, you don't expect to be losing those fights when you have Ravage. The only thing they got was the Skyath Mage. Noobs R Us was looking to kill off some more supports on the backlines, but just couldn't do anything. Ember Spirit, he used all of his remnants aggressively, and then at that point, he couldn't go for anything more. Phase Boots, Bracer on Noobs R Us is doing okay, but just not okay enough. The Legion Commander has yet to get another stack of damage or a duel off for any of these kills, but that's fine for Unity Gaming. It's just looking really nice for them. Slark, he's going to be going for a Shadow Blade this game, and I think that's absolutely acceptable. Although, personally, I like Blink better. They're ahead to where the Shadow Blade is going to be a useful item.
And also, like, the most often I see Shadow Blades, teams do not play in such a way that is consistent with Shadow Blade. But so far, UG, they're playing very aggressively. They're looking for the kills. And that's exactly the type of environment you want to be in, while at the same time holding that Shadow Blade. So Slark is going for the right build. It's going to fit what he wants to be doing. Over towards mid, Templar Assassin wants another kill. Anchor Smash can only do so much for you, Taku, and that will be the death of the Tide. And at the same time, dual win up towards the top. Icon's also dropping pretty low. Stomp is going to bail out this Vengeful Spirit for now. Earth Splitter is going to be thrown, but the Stomp doesn't last for quite long enough. That Earth Splitter will just whiff everybody. But that's still going to be 2 kills, plus the 3rd stack of dual damage. You say it, and Melody delivers. And maybe they're not even done yet up towards top lane. Ember Spirit's going to leave, though he does have a Remnant to rejoin. Icon is still very, very low. And if he gets caught with anything, a Fire Blast, a Concussive Shot, that will be the death of the VS.
Yeah, completely. Icon, they are going to look for an aggressive jump on this Scarth Mage, but it's beautifully baited by them. They have the Legion Commander join this, and Noob RS can't do anything. Snoopy is going to be able to make it back towards his tower. He's moving pretty darn fast, but now Gabby joining the fray is going to Redmond forward aggressively, but that's probably the wrong move for Noob's RS. Pounds forward by Benya is going to find himself a Taki. Drops the ultimate. The Anchor Smash is going to delay a little bit of this damage, but not enough. Yet again, a Meld Strike is going to secure the end of Tidehunters alive. They have another dual cooldown for the Legion Commander, and 2D just aren't in fighting shape.
Tidehunter jumped into that fight 15 seconds until his Ravage was up. If he had that, that could have been the difference between winning a fight and just dying himself. Icon's going to teleport right into a duel. What the hell was that TP? That was a terrible idea. Gabby's going to claim yet another kill. Now he's going to try to go for Now the Time I Fly. Nice jump in from Nuzarus, going to hold them out, and the Scythe will kill off the Templar Assassin, but Benyaz going to chase forward and will get the kill on the Necrophos, but oh, Benyaz going to die again. That's going to be 3-4-3 so far up towards top lane. Snoopy and Noobs are us going to try to chase down Jericho. There's a Scarth Mage who's actually just leaving, and looks like Jericho will be fine as well. UG, as powerful as they are, probably should have backed off once they got that VS kill. Diving that deep, clustering that tightly, not a good idea versus an Ember Spirit.
It's a net gold gain for both teams, favoring 2D because they were behind. But the heroes it's favoring, it's pretty significant on the Ember Spirit, but outside of that, it's not that huge. It's going to be nice for the Elder Titan to get up his levels. After that fight, actually level 10. I think he got 2 levels from that at the very least. Maybe even 3.
I mean, he set up for 1 Scythe kill on the Templar Assassin, so that was pretty nice for him. And he also got another one in the midst of that as well. So, Ember Spirit, though he doesn't have that much gold, he is getting quite a bit of leveling going on. He's actually going to head on towards Battle Fury, which is not actually too late. Like, it seems like he would have a much slower Battle Fury in this game, but 15 minutes, 60 minutes with 1 sword up, plus Drums phase. It's not too terrible, all things considered. And 2D, well, they're going to try to go for this mid lane push. They still have a Ravage. Taku has been slowed down time and time again from picking up his Blink, so it will be probably like a 20-minute Blink, assuming this entire game progresses. Whereas, compare that to Melody, now at 40 stacks of damage, will also have the Blink Dagger in just 200 gold. UG, I mean, that fight didn't end up going that great for them, but they're still in a commanding position in this game.
We haven't talked about it, and it's because I didn't think Necrophos would fully commit to this build, but he's actually gone for the most aggressive build that you can go for. He's maxing out Heartstopper, or at least secondarily maxing it out, and is going for a Dagon. This is incredibly risky for this Necro, especially now that we have a Blink Dagger on Melody, and with 40 stolen damage, most Legion Commanders are lucky if they can get that at like 30 minutes, and it's like 17, and Melody's already hitting like a truck, and can probably look for some solo kills, especially if a Blade Mail is involved later on in the build.
Half the power of Necrophos is that, I mean, you get to Scythe someone and they're dead, but also you get to go pretty much up to full HP because you get so many Sadist stacks. Even though he will still get 10 Sadist stacks if he gets that kill, it's not really going to be too relevant because of that level 1 skill. And going for the Dagon as well, he's gone for the pure burst build. And I suppose up against someone like Slark, that's not a terrible plan, but, well, that's going to happen first of all. 54 damage now up on the Legion Commander. She just jumped an Ember Spirit, and that's not supposed to happen. But Now the Time I Fly might be committing too much to counter this Slark and might end up paying the price for it because he's still very vulnerable. Even though this build counters Slark, Slark still counters Necrophos as far as jumping in and killing him. And he can do that very easily given Necrophos' lack of HP. Slark is going to be zoned out for now as 2D are actually posing pretty aggressively down towards the bottom lane. This is not going to last for very long though because mid and top are both pushing.
Yeah, Templar Assassin in the mid lane is going to be able to put some significant damage there. Top tier 2 hasn't taken any damage as of yet, but if 2D stick around too long, they are going to be losing structures, which isn't something that they can really afford to be doing at this point. Tier 1 towers are probably acceptable to be giving up as long as you're getting something out of the map, but giving up tier 2 towers for maybe a chance at picking off Benyaz down in bottom is just, I don't know, incredibly risky and unnecessarily so.
And it looks like this Slark is going to be going for a Basher, so he will be able to make mincemeat out of pretty much whoever he finds, maybe with the exception being Ember Spirit, who's just too vulnerable. Swap back onto Jericho in mid. That's a very easy kill. They have a Scythe, but they won't even use it. Just Dagon blasting the Ogre Magi down, and now they're going to be walking upwards into a trap where, actually, no, Ember Spirit has already had the trap sprung on him. Dual damage. Going to put the Legion Commander all the way up to 68. This is by far the most damage I've seen picked up by a Legion Commander pre-20 minutes into the game. She is just going to be out of control, and it is just going to be a one-for-one trade at the end of the day.
Yeah, it is. Actually, it's not going to be a Basher for Slark. That's what I was thinking as well, but it looks like Benyaz is going for an SNY, building the Sanj first.
That's not terrible either. I mean, they're both pretty standard items on Slark, and quite honestly, on Slark, you get pretty much whatever item you want, and it will be semi-justifiable. So, yeah, I don't mind this build at all, this deviation. Basher, Sanyasha, it's minor differences here and there. Their tool is both keep yourself close to the enemy, and that's fine. That's all he needs.
Yeah, fair enough. It is a weird build-up for it, but yeah, I like the item choice. Or at least I think it's completely fine. Gabby, in the meantime, now has a fresh BKB. 10-second BKB means that 2D actually can't do any damage to his Templar Assassin. Ember Spirit, in theory, can scale into a pretty decent right-clicker and does a decent amount of physical damage, but at this point, he relies almost exclusively on Flame Guard, as well as Searing Chains to get off his damage, as does everybody else on 2D. Necrovos can do nothing, and when that BKB is popped, Templar Assassin can just run headlong in the enemy team, and pretty darn fast at that. With Bloodlust as well, her damage is pretty significant.
And first of all, they're going to steal a stack that the 2D side has been trying to build up. It was 2, I believe, a long time ago. I don't know if it was cleared since then, but either way, it's going to be pretty much 2 stacks being jacked by the UG side, putting even more golds into the pocket of Templar Assassin. At the exact same time, Benyaz is going to be pushing down the bottom lane, and will take that tower and also try to force someone from 2D to defend that position as well. Gabby with a lot of moon speed is going to close distance onto the Necrophos, drop him very, very low. Now onto Icon. Multicast is going to obliterate that VS. Now onto Snoopy, dueled up, and he's not going to let that duel fizzle. Melody is going to claim 82 damage total this game. That's 2 kills, and UG, they still have their Mystic Flare off of that, and they're going to bulldoze the tier 2 tower straight after. There is still a Ravage with a blink, so there's a possibility for 2D to defend. They're going to do that right now with the jump in from Nuzarus. They're going to try to take down Benyaz, and he will be obliterated by the Scythe combo. Nothing that UG can do to defend against that. That will be one turnaround for 2D. That will stop UG's push cold.
Yeah, and that's kind of what they need to do, but that's all of their ultimates and fighting potential down the tubes, probably for the next 2 minutes until they have Ravage. They'll have Scythe up a little bit faster than that as soon as Slark is back up, in fact, but honestly, I don't think it really matters. Union Gaming will be able to rinse and repeat. Now with an Invis run on Melody, my goodness, this Necrophos is screwed.
There's the blink out. No, he's just fine, but Melody's still going to get the duel onto Noobs R Us. So poor Ember Spirit. He ended up taking the bullet for his ally. Snoopy's going to teleport straight into a silence. Here comes Gabby. He's going to land one hit on Snoopy. Not quite going to be enough. He's going to turn around for a Spirit, and looks like everyone's going to be just fine. Blink forward from Taku. Going to try to kill off Baka. However, the Skywrath Mage will heal up just enough. The Death Pulse will not kill him off. Now it's time to fly. He's now completely surrounded. Concussor shot as well. He's going to be brought down. He blinked way too aggressively. Did not realize that the rest of the team was not behind him. And he's going to be the only casualty here. UG with just enough healing due to the urn, as well as Melody's press the attack. And, well, 2D, they're just bleeding heroes over on this mid lane. The tower is going down very, very slowly. I don't even know if I could call that going down, but still, I mean, 2D, they're just constantly trying to defend, and I don't see them being able to defend without a Ravage.
Yeah, and even if they're trading evenly, Melody is getting damage for every single one of these engagements. This might end up being the most damage I've ever seen on Legion Commander, but at 22 minutes and 96 damage is incredible. That's more than most Legion Commanders would be happy with getting the entire game, and Melody's already trucking. If I was just looking at this game and all I saw was Legion Commander's like inventory and the timestamp of the game, I would not expect this to be an offlane Legion Commander. Melody's been playing very well and just finding a lot of good openings.
And it wasn't even like an offlane hero 1v1 with some random safe lane hero. It was, you know, a 2v1. Vengeful Spirit was doing her best to zone out this Legion Commander, but Legion Commander recovered and then some, and now she's pretty far ahead of where she should be, and still is far ahead of everyone else on 2D as well. And the scary thing is, as stacked as Legion Commander may be, the Templar Assassin is holding more net worth. The Slark is also holding more net worth. UG, all their dangerous heroes are exactly where they want to be. Skyrath Mage is going to get picked off down towards the mid lane, but it's going to be Noobs or Us to once again take a beating. Oh my god, that was disgusting. There used to be an Ember Spirit there, I'm pretty sure.
That was a double damage Leech Commander. That was like one swipe of the sword from Melody, Shadowblade hit, and I'm not even sure if Counts was used, like just a Dark Pact from Benyaz. Yeah, that was ridiculous. Necrophos, with the Natural Order, which is almost maxed out, it's actually just 3 points in it for Snoopy. But either way, with that, he can conceivably kill off like the Slark or Leech Commander if the Blade Mail doesn't come out, just with the Dagon and Scythe combination. Oh, Icon. My goodness. Yeah, that wasn't a great place to be, in hindsight.
Yeah, I would highly recommend not being there in the future, or not being anywhere near here. There's one sentry in the area for 2D, but unfortunately, that Vengeful Spirit was nowhere near that sentry, and oh no, not again, Melody. Saying ain't so, going towards Taku. Has a whole bunch of creeps to help out as well. Legion Commander getting a whole bunch of Moment of Courage procs there, and gonna get herself up to 124. I think the record for me is like 208 or something like that. So, you know, here's to the record, Melody. You're on track.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, Leech Commander, if she finds anybody, like, isolated or just a 1v2, if that 2 doesn't involve the Vengeful Spirit for a defensive swap, she can pretty much just go for the duel and almost guarantee damage. I don't think there's anybody that's going to survive. Tidehunter is probably the tankiest hero to that, just as far as HP pool is concerned with maxed out Kraken Shell, and we already saw how that went for him.
Yeah, so Tidehunter won't be able to survive. Ember Spirit is clearly not able to survive, nor are the 2 supports in the Elder Titan or the VS. Their best bet is to just try to make the duel fizzle. I don't even think 2D have enough damage to turn the duel around in Legion Commander, even with the Scythe. And no, bottom lane. Oh, the duel a little bit too slow to come out, and now's the time to fly. We'll get the hell out of there. That would have been, I guess, good for us, because we would have seen exactly how much damage Melody would be able to do. But either way, it's going to be Necrophos surviving for now. However, top lane, I don't know if everyone's going to be surviving for much longer, because there are still a couple heroes here that want a little bit of blood, and Noobs Are Us is looking awfully tasty. Oh no, he's silenced. He's multicasted 3 times. Are you serious? That's just dirty. Now onto Icon they go. He's going to get almost 3-shot by Gabby. In fact, that was 3 shots by the Templar Assassin. That's 2 kills. And now it's going to be onto Taku and Snoopy who are joining the fight. Jericho's going to take a little bit of damage. First of all, Mystic Flare is going to drop split onto 2. Jericho's going to get Scythe down, but the rest of 2D are just dying so quickly. Taku's the only one left, and he's going to get... Oh, no, not dueled. Once again, it's going to be canceled by a blink, but this duel is going to happen one way or another. No, Gabby, give him damage. It's a rampage from Gabby. That's GG. My god. This game is
okay,
disgusting.
So... yeah, Leech Commander didn't break the record for most damage I've seen because the game just ended so damn fast. It actually didn't matter. My goodness, that Templar Assassin, if she got the Meld Strike onto the Venge, she actually would have just 2-shotted her. That was such a snowbally game coming out from Union Gaming. Everything just seemed to go right for them. I don't think there was a single lane that lost. Offlane Legion Commanders should not be looking like that, and even if the Legion didn't have a great game, Templar Assassin, top of the net worth chart, Slark, similar story for him. Perfect.
All right, guys. So 2D are going to lose this game. There is another one, though, that it will be the last game of the night. So we'll see if 2D can bring it back. But after such a devastating performance, it will definitely be getting at them. But 2D, they have to rally. They have to claim a victory, else they drop 0-2 in 2 consecutive best of 3s. I'm Mike Loris. I have been joined by Grandis V, and we'll be right back for game number 2.